access pass to the world of sports. At these times, only on Channels Television.
Welcome back. Well, fresh concerns over insecurity are emerging in Kwara State, where suspected bandits, let's put it that way, recently launched coordinated attacks on communities in local governments, including Ifelodun local government areas. Well, several residents have been abducted, others injured, and cattle rustled in incidents that have unsettled communities in the state. Now, with repeated incidents raising questions about response capacity and intelligence gathering, many are asking, isn't this a sign of a widening security gap in Kwara? Well, to discuss the political and security implications, we're joined by Comrade Abdurrahouf Bello Labelabe, who is a chieftain of the APC as well. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today on the program.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right, so tell us what the current situation is. At the moment, we understand that thousands of residents are fleeing the community, by extension, the state, and moving to neighboring states. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. You see, the tempo of insecurity is gathering momentum and is on the rise and is getting worsening on daily basis. You see, many communities in Ifelodun local government have been desolated. Omugo, Irabon, Okedaba, Ajekule, all in Orago district have been desolated. Olayinka, the king of that community in Agunji district, was kidnapped along with his wife just 2 days ago at Idera, Iwo Oduore, Gadabu, and some other communities in Isi local government were also attacked, and the population was displaced. Earlier in Eruku, Ispa, and some other communities in Ekiti and Okero local government were also attacked. People were adopted in dozens. So it is not an exaggeration to say that we are in a state of war in Ifelodun or in Kwara South generally. We are in a state of war. And you see, one should not be surprised about the motive of the insurgents, right? So they are either Islamists, expansionists, territorial expansionists, and power, disgruntled elements about power rotation to the southern part of Nigeria.
All right, comrade, just hold on a minute. We'll come to that bit. We'll come to that bit of power rotation, which you just mentioned now in passing. But could you tell us, because I don't know what other statements can be made to the government on this matter, with residents fleeing that community or those communities. It clearly just says, look, we've lost hope and faith in the authorities to do anything whatsoever. Is the government or the governor, are they doing anything whatsoever in that area about this matter?
Well, government, especially the local government, is doing its best. But unfortunately, its best is not good enough. The states, well, I don't know why the states cannot mobilize the deputy. All the communities in Urago that were, desolated are the communities of the sitting deputy governor of the state. And we have not had a single word from him, either as condolence or in sympathy of the victims. He has not even visited the villages. Right? So, I don't know.
What about the governor? Has the governor visited himself?
Well, governor visited some places in the past, like he visited Ukiode, he visited Babala, etc. But apart from that,
nothing else other than just that visit.
Yeah, governor himself has not been forthcoming enough. We should graduate from sending condolences and press statements. We should go into real action, because these people have agenda. It has been coordinated attacks.
What is the agenda? What do you think the agenda is?
The agenda is to displace the Yorubas, for the aliens to occupy our land. That is the agenda. It's like the 19th century insurgents, the jihadists of the 19th century. He's still very rearing his head, his ugly head.
So, I mean, Comrade, sorry to jump in.
Yes.
You just highlighted the governor, the deputy governor, not doing enough, if at all they're doing anything,
yes,
because people fleeing. That's a statement all by itself. You're a chieftain of the APC. Don't you people discuss this kind of scenarios when you meet? Don't you have a way of letting them know this is what is going on?
Unfortunately, as a chieftain of the party, the ruling party, there is no opportunity for us to hear our voice. There's no way. There is no opportunity for us to advise the governor.
Wow.
There is no opportunity for us to guide those in position of powers and authority. And unfortunately too, majority of cabinet members are neophytes. They are young men, young boys and girls, many of them. So there is no way, no forum, there is no elders council that the governor can consult. There are, but he refuses to consult anybody.
So what is progressive about the APC then, if you will call yourself Progressive Congress?
No, please. There is APC is progressive.
No, this is retrogression. This is not progress.
No, it is not. It is not. There is a Yoruba saying that 10 kings, 10 epochs. Ọba mẹ́wàá, ìgbà mẹ́wàá. Right? So this is another epoch in our political history, and it will come to pass. That is it. Let me just stop at that. But that hasn't affected the popularity rating of our party. Let no opposition, there's even no opposition in Kwara State as far as 2027 game is concerned. No, there is no opposition. I can give you that free of charge. No opposition. But care must be taken not to underrate the opposition, because the most dangerous thing for a politician to do is to underrate his opponents. We cannot take them for granted.
Comrades, some people will say you have to make up your mind. On the one hand, you say there is no opposition. Then on the other hand, you say that you don't want to underrate the opposition. Can you underrate something that does not exist at all? That's just a rhetorical question. But to the question I would really like to ask you, I'm going to focus on the fact that Kwara is now becoming a hotbed of sorts. We saw the attacks that happened overnight in some communities. About 2 months ago in Woro, in Nuhu communities. We also saw what happened in the Felodo. And some people will say, well, it does appear that some measures are being taken, but perhaps those measures are not enough. So, for instance, we saw the governor visit soldiers who survived the attack, an ambush that happened. A few of them lost their lives, and he made a pledge when he went to see them at the Ilorin University Teaching Hospital. I don't know what you make of the security arrangement. What would you say has been the response of security agencies in the wake of some of the deadly attacks that we have seen on Kwara State?
Well, thank you very much. You know, the attacks in Woro and other communities in the Kwara North, right? Mm-hmm. They are, as a result of, porous nature of our borders with the neighboring francophone countries, right? That one is understood. At the same time, it is the same agenda by the expansionist elements to displace the people of the Kwara North as well, right? But let me just keep that aside. The military, we have to give kudos to the military, the police, the army, the air force. They are doing their best. Professionally, they are excellent. I give kudos to them. But you can't give what you don't have. They are limited, but there are some constraints that will not allow them to operate the way they should have done. And this should have been taken up by the governor with Mr. President. Because Mr. President doesn't take the security issue, lightly. But if the governor doesn't confront or engage the presidency about the needful to be done, the presidency will not know. For instance, what stops Kwara State from going into security alliance with the Southwest? Southwest is relatively peaceful. All these banditry, all the rest, they are operating as isolated cases in Southwestern State because of security network that exists there. What's up Kwara from joining hand with them? Let us form alliance with them. Let us invite Sunday Igboho. Let us invite Gani Adams to come and face these marauding herdsmen and bandits. To come and face them.
What would you say that they have done? Because the Southwest has simply employed some measures. So, for instance, they have their own local security outfits. You also have the Amotekun, which is supposed to be a regional security outfit. They have, set this up on a regional basis. Kwara, for what we know, is based in the north-central region of Nigeria, much as it shares some affinity in terms of cultural similarities with the people of the Southwest. But its location, some people would say, makes it a bit difficult. Some people would think that it should be forming an alliance with other states in the North Central. We are also going through some of the challenges that Kwara is currently experiencing. How would you look at the partnerships that some of the governors need to build around, the regions and the challenges that face some of their geographic areas? Don't you think it would be wiser for them to seek alliances in that regard instead of looking to the Southwest, for instance?
No. Let me call one impression. Kwara is in the North Central by accident of history. Kwara is not northern Kwara is different. Language, culture, and history. We are not northerners. We are not. But by access of history and geography, yes. Colonial government, merged us by 1894 was boundary adjustment between the north and the west, right? So there was even agitation of we are going to west. Even in Ilorin, we are going to west, we are going to west. Traditional rulers in the Yoruba part of Kwara, they visited the colonial residents at Ilorin to complain that they don't want to be merged with the northern protectorate. But Henry Willing's 1957 committee listening to minority cases recommended a plebiscite, but the northern powers did not allow the plebiscite to take place. That was why and how Kwara was merged with the northern region. Now, apart from that, a drastic disease demands a drastic cure. Insecurity knows no affinity of ethnicity or whatever. It is a matter of survival. You go to where you can get saved. How can you rely on a people who are the same people that torment you? What is there in the northern region that we should rely on now? They are the same people tormenting us. And where is that security network? So Kwara is a mini Nigeria.
Some people will say,
to forget about that primordial sentiment of we belong to the north. There's nothing like that.
Comrade, when you say it is the northerners that are tormenting you, I need you to clarify that, because some people will say the north and different parts of the north at that are also going through their own challenges. So if you look at the northeast, they have had to deal with Boko Haram and insurgency. If you look at the northwest, they are also dealing with banditry and terrorism of some sort, if you want to call it what it truly is, because people are unable to go to their farms, they're able to carry out businesses as they normally would. So, and they too are also complaining of this invasion. How can you then say that it is the northerners that are disturbing you?
Thank you very much. Whatever they are experiencing now is their own creation. It is their own creation. They created it. You see, and they use it as it suits their purposes, political agenda. Now, when the Abe dynasty lost to Fulani dynasty in the north, Fulani, invaded the owners and started installing Fulanis as emirs, and then they reduced the Hausas to slaves, right? But the disguised jihadist agenda could not fly at among the northeast people, the Bornos, because Islam was already established there. Yet they made fruitless effort to conquer them, right? So when Sir Ahmadu Bello, may his soul rest in peace, he left a north without discriminating against any tribe, any religion, or any other primordial sentiment. Ahmadu Bello worked for the Talakawas. He liberated. He didn't take anybody as slaves. In fact, let me tell you, those who are generals in the military, including all the political leaders, the political elite in the north today, they are sons and daughters of nobody then. some daughters of nobody, but they were brought up to limelight through a policy of Sir Ahmadu Bello. They become people of substance today. But the people after the demise of Sir Ahmadu Bello, those who inherited the legacy, they became selfish. They were looking at the children of the poor, untrained. And people you don't train, they are the ones that will disturb your own children that you train.
All right, we need to wind down now. But let me ask you, I mean, earlier you did say that there's been no meeting, there's no avenue for party officials to even communicate this problem and this concern to the governor, such that certain steps can be taken or to even have an idea of what his plan is. Many are still struggling to actually believe that that is the case. Yet, we know that when it comes to elections, you people will find a way of going to the people, asking them for their votes. So, how is this going to be addressed now? If you can't find a way, or the authorities or the party chairman can't even reach the governor as one who is in the party, it really paints a very, very terrible picture that, look, not enough is being done to ensure that this is addressed.
Well, you see, the nature of our politics in Kwara, right? We don't play opposition politics in Kwara. Even for over 40 years, when Baba Saraki's dynasty was reigning, right? We never play opposition politics. So we always belong to the mainstream. Therefore, whatever shortcomings of the present administration cannot affect our chances at election, because we know that government goes, government comes, but people remains. So we are the same people that we talk to ourselves.
I mean, many will struggle to understand your point here because they will wonder, what is the rationale behind that? Are you saying that people who are being killed will see that they are being killed and nothing is being done, and you think they will still go ahead and vote for the same party who was doing nothing to stop the killing? How does that work?
No. Is it in only? I'm not justifying the killing here, please. Is it only in Kwara that people are killed by bandits? And even in other opposition, in other states where opposition was in power, they moved from their party to APC. You know, politics is a game, right? And you have to understand the dynamics to know where the pendulum swings. And don't forget that Nigeria today, people are clamoring that Bola Tinubu must have second term. And that is what we stand for in Kwara.
That's a different matter, but right now,
even if you
may say politics is a game, but you can't be playing games with people's lives. Something needs to be done to stop the killings and displacement that is going on in the states. So if you cannot speak, if the party members cannot speak the truth to the governor, isn't this why they will continue the way they are, saying you don't play opposition politics? And by the way, is that even correct? Because I mean, it was PDP, now it's APC.
Don't forget that Mr. President is in charge, fully in charge. I told you, the president is doing something, right? But
what has been done to stop the killing?
The state is not doing enough.
Why are people leaving the community? You just told us now that people are abandoning their community. So what is being done?
Well, we should ask the public to answer that. When I told you that even the sitting deputy governor is helpless. He's helpless. His community is deserted. And he's helpless. Doesn't that one speak volume of the nature of the government we have?
All right. I think people will have to make up their minds on what is going on there, because if the chief security officer of the state is not doing enough to stem the tide, and then you say the president is in charge, yet people are fleeing their communities, that's a major statement saying, look, whatever they say they're doing, it's not cutting it. So, we can only hope that, even though it's not a strategy, that something is done to stop this killing. Comrade, you can't take the people for granted saying that you don't play opposition politics. People need to save their lives first. Politics may be secondary, but their lives and livelihood got to be above all else. But we thank you for talking to us this morning, Comrade Abdurrauf Bello Labalabe, Chieftain of APC in Kwara State. All right, we're back in just a moment, everyone.
Thank you for having me.